Welcome back. You're still tuned into Market Fatafat, and this is a show where we discuss all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today, either based on news flow or on technicals. And on the technical front today, now we are joined by Ruchit Jain, Vice President Equity Technical Research at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Ruchit, thank you so much for taking your time out. And SBI, that's the first stock that you've picked for us this afternoon. Tell us, what do charts indicate for State Bank of India?
Yeah, hi, very good afternoon. Well, now post this news of RBI, we have seen a good momentum across the banking and the NBFC space. The PSU Bank was one space where on Friday there was a relative underperformance. But this is one heavyweight which is on the verge of a breakout from a falling trendline resistance. So we believe that the PSU banking stocks will also see a good catch-up now, in which SBI could be one stock which could take the leadership from here on. So SBI looks positive. Where the risk-reward ratio is also favorable over here. We expect targets on the high side towards 845 to 850 in the near term. So considering the good risk-reward ratio, it's a good buy over here.
Alright, so call coming in on SBI. But coming to you, Kanishka, Kalp-through projects is what you picked out for us. Tell us what's the news flow here? Big order wins coming in for Kalp-through.
That's right. The company has actually announced that along with its international subsidiaries, it has bagged new orders worth 3,789 crore rupees. So this is the largest ever order that the company is buildings and factories business has won. Now, these orders involve the development of over 12 million square feet of residential belongings along with associated facilities on a design-build basis. Now, orders are in the power and transmission and distribution segment. In the overseas market, if you look at the stock, after the development came, it's been trading over 4% higher.
Back of that order win worth 3,800 crores, the stock is sitting with gains of nearly 8% in trade today. 4% rather in trade today. But let's shift focus to JSW Steel then. It reported its operational updates for the month gone by, and for the month of May it has reported a steady set of numbers. The stock is holding on with gains of 0.2%, where production for India operations saw an uptick of about 9% on a year-on-year basis to come in at 21.94 crores, and consolidated production saw an uptick of about 8% on a year-on-year basis. As far as their subsidiary in Ohio is concerned, that production was steady on a year-on-year basis. With consolidated level, production up 8%, and that is the reason the stock is in focus today.
Alright, so that is JSW Steel in focus today, but let's move on to the next counter, and that is IndusInd Bank that is in focus. Now, SEBI has issued a corrigendum in the recent interim order in the IndusInd Bank's insider trading case. The market regulator has clarified that a key document in its investigation was incorrectly referred to as a board note in the original order, but it should have been described as an engagement note. So, as far as SEBI explains that the term board note will now be read as an engagement note, and the regulatory has initially stated that KPMG's appointment to review the derivatives issue was based on the board note. Now they have clarified that it was actually based on the engagement note, a document typically signed by the top company officials, but not necessarily a formal board level communication. So the insider trading case, that revolves around allegations that these executives sold shares of IndusInd Bank while in possession of the unpublished price-sensitive information regarding significant loss in the derivative segment. According to SEBI's order, now IndusInd Bank's internal review had identified a negative financial impact of 1,500 crores, which is approximately 2.35% of the network. However, this information was not disclosed to public until March 1st. So that was the issue. But now with the new, them saying that it will be treated as an engagement note, the procedure will follow according to that. So on the back of that, IndusInd Bank is in focus.
IndusInd Bank is in focus on the back of this news piece, but shifting focus to Bharat Electronics Limited then, Rabinder, I believe the company has signed an MOU for semiconductor manufacturing. Tell us more about this MOU.
Bharat Electronics is in focus. Our company has announced signed an MOU with Tata Electronics towards the development of indigenous and electronics and semiconductor solution in India with governments of India's vision for self-reliance, and this MOU marks a significant step forward for BEL and Tata Electronics in jointly exploring end-to-end solution to meet the domestic requirement. So back of this stock is in focus, and the stock is trading at 0.5% in today's trading session.
Okay, so the stock is in focus on the back of that, but Ruchit, Indian Bank is the stock that you've picked up for us? What do charts indicate for Indian Bank?
Within the entire PSU banking space, if you see, this has been one of our outperforming stocks since the last 2.5 months. The stock has consolidated around its support of 620 to 630 zone and is now gearing up for a resumption of the broader trend. So I think considering the relative outperformance of the stock within the sector, the price volume action also is quite bullish. So we expect an up move towards 665 to 670 in the short term. So Indian Bank is one of the PSU names where we can expect a continuation of that trend.
Right, moving on then from Indian Bank, Kanishka is coming to you. Ambuja Cement is the name that you picked out for us. Tell us what's the news flow here.
Right, so this Adani Group firm, Ambuja Cement, contributes to nearly 30% of the cement used in India's homes and infrastructure. That's the word as per the company's latest annual report. Now, Ambuja Cement, which has crossed 100 million tons per annum capacity in FY25 in a record time, mainly through acquisition, now aims to reach 118 MTPA by FY 2026 and 140 MTPA by FY 28. This would be primarily driven by brownfield expansion projects. Now, if you look at the stock movement after the annual report came over the weekend, it's been trading about 0.5% higher.
Okay, so Ambuja Cement in focus on the back of that. But Jindal Steel, JSPL, that's the stock that you've picked for us. Ruchit, tell us, what do charts indicate for JSPL?
So we have seen some consolidation in the stock since last 1.5 to 2 weeks, but in this entire consolidation, the prices have formed a good support base around 940 to 935. Technically, there is a bullish flag pattern, and a breakout of this pattern generally indicates a continuation of the uptrend. So selective metal stocks has also been doing good. We have seen that the dollar index has sustained below 100 levels, and usually there is a inverse correlation that whenever the dollar index is in a bear trend, metals generally tend to outperform. So we believe that Jindal Steel technically looks poised for a continuation of the uptrend from here on. So currently there is a potential for the stock to rally towards 1005 to 1010 zone in the near term.